So we now move to our last item, item 15, which is the work program. Claire's here for that one.
Good afternoon, councillors, and I appreciate that we're at the end of a long day. The purpose of this report really is just to present to you the proposed forward work program for this committee, which is similar to the process you've undertaken for the Auckland Development Committee, and you'll be having a comparable discussion as the Finance and Performance Committee in the next couple of months. This follows on from your decisions earlier this year in terms of the delegations, in terms of reference, and it is also about us supporting you better so that you have clarity of the forward work program. It reflects the priorities that have come through the long-term plan, and it also ensures that staff are working on the right things at the right time. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Some questions from Council
David? Just going through to page 91, submissions to the Productivity Commission. I was under the impression that that body of work was under the Auckland Development Committee, but I could be wrong.
So just to clarify, there have been two pieces of work. The work on housing from the Productivity Commission is sitting within the remit of the Auckland Development Committee. This is the feedback we provided earlier this year on the inquiry into social services. So we've actually made a decision on that piece of work already.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's confusing. The Productivity Commission's putting out information quite consistently, so it's understandable.
Oh, of course,
yeah. So the one you're referring to is the Productivity Commission work on housing.
Councillor Fletcher.
Oh, Claire, I'm very pleased that the approval of the plan for the sports facilities network plan is scheduled inside the next financial year. Do you see challenges with that? That's an enormous piece of work.
So, not that I'm an expert on every piece of work, but I have talked with Lisa Tocker about this. So just to clarify for other councillors who may not be as au fait with this as you, Councillor Fletcher, the reason that the Sports Facilities Network Plan is coming to you is because facilities outside the ownership of council weren't incorporated in the Community Facilities Network Plan that you've just discussed today. So what I've checked in with Lisa is how will that relate to that piece of work moving forward, because ultimately the idea is that certainly I would expect moving into the next LTP you'd want to have them joined up. They are working on that already, but I'm happy to ask her to speak with you in terms of... But it is a very large piece of work.
It is a large piece of work, and I want to make sure they're getting the support that they need to get that through, because it's critical.
And it's essential that once we've done that piece of work that we can look at that along with the Community Facilities Network Plan as a whole, because then we have a picture of all of those facilities across the region.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Penrose, seconded by Councillor Nye. No other comments. I'll put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Declare that carried. Thank you. And now we move to item 16, the information items. And there is now the other item that we have to add in there as well. It's about
It's an accepted, so it's not a CP. No, we're received after.
okay.
It's not accepted as part of the form. So it's just recording.
Okay, I'll move the recommendation that receive the information provided.
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Casey. I'll put that motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Declare that carried. Thank you. And I think that brings us to the end of the meeting, but we have a workshop now on
coastal erosion.
but
Mr. Chair, I think the attendance at this committee needs some whipping. This is really abysmal. This is really abysmal. This is a committee of the whole, and it's got less than 50% here.
Yep.
It's not okay. We are not doing our job. This is a failing of Auckland Council, but particularly the members who are regularly absent from committees of the whole.
Yep.
This needs to be sorted.
Yep.
It needs to be raised at our next gathering because I am putting in a lot of time here, as are the members here. But I tell you what, There's some that are addicted to absence.
Well, unfortunately, Councillor Darby, this has been a kind of an absentee syndrome.
Well, I've had enough of it.
Often
Well,
happens on
I know,
payday
and
too.
so do I, and it gets very frustrating for the members who do sit around the table, because I think the members who are here are the regular people that do attend the meetings, and, you know.
Mr Chair, on councillors' behalf, I agree with the councillor, absolutely. This has come up time and time again
Yep.
at our councillor lunches. On your behalf, I've talked to the CSAs who support each councillor to say, please do not schedule things in councillors' diaries on full committee meeting days. It's one Thursday a week. Keep the diaries free through till 4. Please do that. Now, it's obviously not working. I cannot be clearer. It is absolutely unacceptable to end up with such few councillors, and I know from the chair's perspective and the staff's perspective, it's just not acceptable. So I'm happy to keep emailing, but councillors, I think we need to talk to our colleagues. This is not okay.
Thank you.
I bet
Right,
it's not talked to
we
my
come back in
fair
about
amount.
5 minutes, 5 minutes
Chair?
when we come back, yes.
Well, you know, I mean, to say Parliament has a process in place, I think we should have the same. And Councillor
Payne.
Darby's absolutely right on the button. This has been going on, this is actually worse than the first term, to be honest. And when, you know, people book on speeches and so forth during the course of the day, I'd love to go and do stuff too, but you've got to put it off. Committee of the whole, you've got to be here.
Yeah,
Our
clinics.
councillors have made a clinic, so they're out there in the
Yeah,
community
okay.
for 3
Well,
days running.
The meeting's closed now, and we'll come back in 5 minutes for the